Hey everybody, welcome back to Glenn's Garage. Today's video, we're going to be doing a little cosmetic DIY. We're going to be polishing out the headlamps here, try and bring them back to look like new. Okay, so what we've got here is the 2008 Mercedes ML or 320 CDI that I bought at auction that I'm working on. And whilst I'm waiting for some parts to show up here, I thought I'd get on with a couple of cosmetic jobs. So one of them is the headlights. Now, years ago, of course, headlights were glass. We didn't have this problem, but for cost savings and potentially weight savings, I guess, everyone's gone to plastic for the lens. And the early ones were chronically bad for just going absolutely yellow and you couldn't see anything through them. They've gotten better, they've engineered better plastics, but they do break down. The UV still breaks them down. And whilst these are not particularly bad by any means, they're not pretty. So I'm sure if you can see here all the yellowing that's going on. So they're breaking down, they're going, and you can feel it. You can feel the top surface almost like it's blistered very slightly from the breakdown of the plastic. So we're going to see if we can get these stripped down and polished back up to look reasonably close to new. All right, so we're going to get started here. There are kits you can buy for doing the polishing of this. And I guess I've never bought one of the kits, so I'm not sure if they say to do sanding first or you just go at it with the polishing compound that comes with it. But I'm going to say if they're anything other than the mildest hazy, you're going to have to sand them down first. I'm going to start with a 600 grit wet sandpaper. I'll go to 1,000, 2,000, and then 3,000 before we start applying the polish to them. So it's just like prepping paint for a cut and buff. You're going to use the wet sandpaper. We're going to polish, and you'll see as we go here, we want to make sure we get a relatively even dullness to this on the various sandpapers. So that means we've gotten it evenly sanded. It tends to just leave these areas. These are the hardest to get off. It'll sand around them a bit. So we're going to work on that. Let's start with 600 and then we'll work our way down through the different grits. So as you start on it, you first start to break down the area where the plastic's on really yellowy. You'll notice that the residue that comes off is a sort of yellowy brown color. That's as you're cutting through that. It looks like blisters. That top surface is breaking down there. So we're just going to keep doing that. Wipe it down until we get an even covering of, like I said, of dullness from this 600 grit sandpaper. I'm using a little flexi block here, a Durablock, which helps. You can put more pressure on. I mean, if you're doing it by hand, you get marks where your finger pressure is. It's not as even. Obviously, some areas you have no choice but to do that. But this at least gives you a chance to really get a more even pressure. Okay, so this is my first go with the 600 grit. And you can see all the areas here where it's not really gritted down properly yet. So this is what you want to get rid of. You want it all to look this even sanded color like this. So you've got to keep working at this, try and get most of that removed so it all goes the same dullness. You can see the same sanding on. Okay, so this is what the 600 grit looks like. Relatively even surface now, same pretty much all over. So we're going to go and do the same thing now with 1,000, 2,000, and then the 3. This is the hardest one to do because this is the one where you break down the surface and get it all back down to effectively the same level again. And then the others are just a matter of taking out scratches. So we work our way through the grits. So here's a shot with the 1000 grit completed. As you can see, it's becoming a little more transparent. The scratches are getting finer. All right, we just finished up 2000 grit on this now. Coming up pretty decent. I'm going to switch to the 3000. And I use these little 3000 grit Trizact, it says. It's a 3M fine wet sand with a foam on the back. I love these. They work really great for final wet sanding. So, get some water on it, and we'll just go at this same as we've done with all the others. Okay, so here's a look at it after the 3000 grit. I mean, it's brings it up relatively near polish, truthfully. So what we're going to do now, obviously, is go in and start putting the polish on. Okay, so we're going to get on now and start actually polishing the lens here. What I'm going to be using is this Meguiar's Plastex. There is a bunch of different products out in the market. This happens to be the one I have. So we're going to put that on. We got just an applicator pad, buffing pad on a drill, which is really all you need to do this here. I've masked off around here. This stuff is pretty abrasive. Okay, this isn't like cutting compound. This is going to start to do damage on paint if it hits it. I know. I accidentally did that once a long time ago. So I've masked off. I just opened the hood so I didn't have to mask it off. And I just put a cover here only because if any of it sprays, it's less cleanup I have to do under the hood from splatter. I can wipe it off the paint, but I don't want to be wiping it out of the engine compartment. So we're going to dab a few drops on the applicator here. Just like using the buffing. And then we're going to dab it on so we don't get a whole bunch of splatter or spray everywhere. Okay, let's just take our microfiber cloth here. Oops. We'll just wipe this a little bit down to start with. And it's coming up pretty nicely there. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to finish this up and then I'll go one more time on it and then I'll show you what the results are. But I think it's going to look pretty good. Okay, let's go bring the camera in and we'll have a look, see what we got here. Oh, that's what it's come up like. So, pretty decent. I mean, it's not new, but it comes up pretty nice here. All right, so at this point, you've got a couple of decisions you can make. You can just leave it as it is. Looks fine, it's going to be fine. You can apply one of the UV protector sprays on it. There's a bunch of them online you can buy that are supposed to protect this refinish from the UV breakdown again. Or you can just do what I did, which was put a polish on it. I just use this, it's what I have here. And then a synthetic wax on it. It brought it up a little shinier. The polish just a little bit better. And then the wax on it, and I'll just keep an eye on it. I'm not personally a big fan of spraying a coating on these. I guess I've never tried it and I'm not sure I want to risk how good the finish will be when it's done. And then how do I get that off if I have to? But that'd be your choice. As far as I'm concerned, these are done here and I'm super pleased with them. As always, I hope the video was helpful for you. Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed it, a like or a subscribe would be great. And I hope I see you back in the garage here. We'll have some more DIY and some more projects going on here. You all have a great day. Thank you.